Katie, thanks for joining us. I feel like I'm sitting amongst royalty here. The Princess of the Punt.
Yes.
Where did you get that name?
That was actually Goss came up with that one. So I love my racing. I go over to Spring Carnival every year over in Melbourne, and Goss came up with that and roped me into doing a bit of work on racing radio, and we came up with the Princess.
You're now heading up the Channel 10 sports program on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like, and what's it like to be a female heading that up?
It's great. I love doing it. It gives me variety, I guess, in the week, doing presenting and producing on the weekends and then reporting during the week. And it's also great to have it back in Perth because it's come out of Sydney for so long, and so it gives us a lot more control over the content that we're putting in, and we can put our Perth spin on it, which is great, which is what the audience wants as well.
What sport do you really love?
My passion is probably rugby union, coming from South Africa. So yeah, love the Force, support the Force, and then obviously footy after that.
What's it like talking and interviewing AFL blokes day in, day out? I mean, you're in front of them all the time.
It's good most of the time, some of them. Well, I suppose I've never been one to be a real fan, I guess. So I suppose that actually helps, having a bit of distance between that. How
do the boys treat you when you're interviewing them?
No, good, very professional. I mean, there's so many more girls now working in sport. We've seen over the last few years a girl at every channel in Perth, and especially over east, and you see a lot more girls now working as trainers and things in the AFL, especially over at the Melbourne club. So I think it is changing. What
do you take on the likes of Ben Cousins, for instance, all the misdemeanours that have happened in the AFL and other sporting codes? What's your take on that when you're interviewing it? Is it something that the public really wants to cover, or is it what the media really wants to cover?
I think there is a genuine interest in it from the public, and probably that was one of the most challenging times over my career with West Coast, having all of their off-field problems. It certainly was difficult as a journalist because you're sort of stuck in the middle. You've got to cover it, you've got a responsibility to cover it, but at the same time you do have your genuine fans that are not happy about it, and the clubs don't want you covering it. They don't want that information out there, so it certainly was a challenging time.
The Kelly Underwood experience for Channel 10 didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts and how did you think that sort of played out?
I think it's great that she did it and she had the guts to do it. Personally, it's not something that I would pursue. I don't think I'd probably be very good at it, but I think it's fantastic that they gave her a chance.
Why do you think the public was so hostile towards Kelly?
I'm not quite sure whether it was her style or it's just something different that people aren't used to, probably hearing a girl call footy, and that's the problem, isn't it, when things are different.
Do you think sports people are more scrutinised over here in the West than maybe over in the East?
I think definitely. I mean, especially in terms of an AFL point of view, we're a two-team town, so everyone knows who they are when they go out on the streets, whereas a lot of the guys coming up through the ranks in Melbourne, there's that many teams there's that many players, that probably they don't get that same scrutiny that they do over here.
What's the best advice you'd give to a young journalist coming through the ranks, and in particular a female journalist? I guess probably for everyone is just to be prepared to put in the hard yards. It's a lot of work experience, and you've got to work hard for it. You've got to want it. What do you love about Perth?
Love the weather, love the lifestyle. I love nothing more than going down to the beach for my day off and reading a book. And just the freedom as well. We've got such a great lifestyle, and I think people don't appreciate that a lot of the time.